Morning, guys.
Morning, Rico.
What's going on? Oh, guys, I'm gonna make sure everybody has my email. Okay, azevedo.ricardo5@gmail.com because I would ask you to send me an email because I'm going to create a group because when I talk to the internet people and they said it might be easier for me to send you just like every Monday, I just send you all the work, because when I try to send it through the Zoom thing, sometimes it just doesn't seem to work exactly how I want to. Okay. So since we're talking about PowerPoint presentations and we're talking about volume of, I'm giving you, like I said, 50 trainings and, 30 trainings and stuff like that. So it's voluminous, and sometimes it'd be better for me to just reduce it and then just send it to your guys' email directly. So make sure you drop me an email. Okay, just drop me an email with your email, and then I'll create a group. And then what's easier because I'll just create it, just go boom, 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 and I just send it as a group. Because every time I ask Sarah, she's so busy with Tony, and of course, I asked some of the people 6-8 to do it. And like I said, it seems like we're always having problems with the internet here. I don't know what it is. I mean, we just went up to 5 point something and it still seems pretty slow. So I don't know. Maybe just everybody.
Rico, could you repeat that one more time? It's Azevedo 5?
Yeah, is azevedo.ricardo5. Okay, so azevedo.ricardo5 at gmail.com. Okay. And then, just like I said, just drop it. You don't have to write anything. Just drop, hey, hey, Rico, boom, send the email. Because then I will do is that I'll just copy them all. We'll create a nice little file. And then by Tuesday, you're going to have everything, not only we discussed today, but all the stuff on Tuesday also. And then I'm going to repeat the stuff that I sent before, but it would be in a better format for you where you can just go ahead and share with your team. Share with your coaches, share with whoever you want. I mean, hey, more the merrier, right? More that we can all help each other out there, better we all going to be. All right. So, all right, hold on. Oh, boy, I tell you. Buenos dias, Facu.
Hi, Rico. How are you? How's it going?
It's all good. Hi, Beth. Gina, we've got everybody coming in. Okay, you're still there. Good girl.
Your Spanish is getting better.
Yeah. All right, let's get started. So today I feel is very important, and actually when most of the time when I've done these camps or conversations and stuff, this is probably the area that I feel we need more and more work, and that is the problem is everybody know. I mean, it's like everybody knows that what a zone is and what a press is, and everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. Say, hey, they got a really good 2-meter man, so we got to go into a zone. Or they, we don't have this, and so everybody knows about zones and they know about presses, but we're kind of missing the point. I mean, so the thing about the zone is this: everybody knows what it is, everybody knows it's necessary, everybody trains them, but how do I arrive at a zone? I mean, this is really what it comes down to. I mean, I've talked to some guys that I respect as gods, right? And I mean, I've talked to players that are amazing players, and I want to know what they think. But then I ask this, how do you arrive at a zone? Well, how do you arrive in a zone? I mean, how do you do that? I mean, okay, so you're in a press. Okay, and we'll talk about which presses we're coming from. But let's just say, for the sake of the discussion, we are in a press. Most everybody starts on a press of some kind, all right? How am I going to arrive at a zone? So am I going to arrive at a zone from a established pattern? Well, for example, some people go, we're in a zone, everybody comes back on a 2, 3, 4, and then from there, that's our zone, and then we read it. Okay, that's one option. Let's go to the second option, opportunity. A bad pass to position 4, don't follow him, come back, and force him to waste time to come into the zone. So it's opportunity, right? 2. 3, read the situation per player. So we want to take a zone when the ball is on its way to a player that doesn't make great decisions, or is going on the way to a player who knows he's going to look for the shot. Because there are zones to force people to shoot, and there are zones to deny people the shot, and there are zones to discourage people to shoot. Now, this is what you guys got to think, guys. We're smart. So we're smart. So we want to sit there and you're going to say, okay, do we want to not give him the shot? It's one. Do we want to we say, well, we want to make the shot very difficult for him, but we want him to shoot the ball. We want him to shoot the ball. Okay? And number 3, let's discourage him from shooting the ball. We're not going to just not let him shoot. We're going to discourage him. What are discouraging type zones? Gapping, in and out, blind side. These are discouraging zones. The zones that just when you think about shooting, somebody's coming at you. Just when you think about shooting, somebody comes from behind. Those are discouraging zones. What are some of the typical discouraging zones out there? M's. M's are discouraging zones. They don't really take away any shot. If you think about it, I mean, let's go to the board right now. Let's go into the speaker view so you can see myself a little better on that board. Let's see. All right, hold on. All right. So look, so here's the board, right? So let's look at the board right here. Okay. So we got the zone. Okay, so let's talk about it. So if I'm in a press of some kind, and I'm sitting over here in my press, okay, I'm in my press, all right. On an M zone, if you think about it, I'm going to go to an example of all 3 of them. Discouraging zone. I come back on an M. Right? Remember, we have M, the high M's, that's the one you split, and you have the low M's, the one you discourage. Okay? So now, really, am I taking a shot away from anybody? No. Look, the ball, he can shoot it. He can shoot it. He can shoot it. He can shoot it. And he can shoot it. Everybody can shoot. Everybody can shoot the ball here. But what we're doing is we're discouraging the shot. By making this kind of defense, well, they have these little mini triangles here. You see that? See this triangle here? See? See this triangle? These are little triangles. You can even have this one. All right? By having the movement as a triangles, right? We move as triangles. We discourage the other team to shoot the ball because they know that as this triangle is moving, if he shoots it, right, this person is here, this triangle is moving, this person's coming up a little bit, this person is kind of moving here a little bit. If he shoots, this is going to happen. So I am discouraging the other team from shooting the ball. Those are discouraging zones. Okay? Now, the best denial defense there is a press. Right? On a press, you cannot do anything with it. Right? That's a press. You get the ball, you foul. You get the ball, foul, or you get the ball, you don't let the ball get there. But there are denial zones. Okay? So a denial zone, for example, a lot of times a denial zone, it's going to take place usually with 3 players. So let's just say I have a denial zone here. So a 3-2, not a 2-3. And remember that. There is a difference between a 2-3 zone and a 3-2 zone. This is something that, you know, one of the things that I've really explained. And once the players understand that, you're going to find out that it's a lot easier talking with them. Okay, so on a 3-2 zone, the 3 comes back first, right? 3, 2. The first number comes first. So the 3 returns and the 2 attacks, and then he comes back. So what we're going to do on a 3-2 zone is here. Remember, we want to deny. So the ball is here. I don't want this person to shoot the ball. So I'm going to come back on a 3-2 zone, but this person is going to go right there. Okay? I'm not going to let this person shoot the ball. I'm going to force the shot to be here someplace. Okay? But I'm not letting this guy shoot the ball. Okay? Now, if I did a 2-3 zone, this person comes back, sorry, wrong way. Sorry. This person comes back first on a 2-3 zone, and then you really don't want this person to attack because, man, I tell you, this kind of pass here, you're going to be in a little bit of trouble because most of the time on a 2-3 zone, the defense is pushing the guy this way. He's coming here. You don't want to give him that pass. Okay? So very rarely on a 2-3 zone, okay, do we come back here and this person attacks. On a 2-3 zone, is this person here, he comes back, this person goes here, and this person just comes in a little bit. But very rarely, this person attacks here. If anybody's going to attack, this will come back because, like I said, you want to force the shot to the areas a little bit wider. Does that make sense, guys? Does that make sense to you what I'm trying to say? You know, if I'm a shooter, I'm facing the shot, right? So I'm here, I'm facing a shot. Anything that comes at me forward, a good shooter should be able to figure out. I'm here, bam, bam, bam. Somebody's coming at me, bam, bam, bam. I'm okay. Because the person comes in, I can move left, I can move right, donkey kick back. You know, I can create all kinds of things. When do I really bother the shooter? Why is Japan has this amazing defense that drives everybody crazy? Because, look, I'm a shooter. Oh, somebody's coming from over here. I got to look to the right. Oh, oh, somebody's coming from my left. I'm changing my body every time somebody attacks me from the sides. The downside is that a little bit, guys, and you're gonna have some coaches that are gonna argue that, and that's okay, and I agree with the argument, is that not coming forward, you're taking away the shot block, right? Because this is a shot block. If I'm attacking from the right and the left, I don't have that shot block. Now, let me see. Soto, my goalie with Brazil, or Mero, any of the goalies that I've had. I had Ferrari from Italy. I've had some of the great goalies that played for me at one time or another, okay? They used to say, Coach, there are some players that I would say, if this guy is shot blocking, please don't take him out of there because he's amazing. He goes, but 90% of them, just have them attack somebody because they are not blocking anything anyhow. Because the problem is that people think that shot block is this. Really? What's this? Most of the time you shoot over the arms anyhow. Or about the waving shot block? So it's basically shoot here, right, shoot left, oh, shoot right, shoot left, shoot right. So the goal is going like, give me a break. What about the back shot? This is another one we see a lot in shot blocking. What is this? What does this do? What about this one? So shot blocking alone, it's an art. So how are your zone going to be effective if your shot blocking is not effective? So you have to have different ways to attack. If you have a couple guys that are amazing shot blockers, man, they are correct. They have the arm bent so they can take away the low, cover over the head, and extend here. This is the correct shot blocking ability right here. You don't shot block like this. And I tell you what, as hard as people shoot today, you shot block like this, you're going to have some serious elbow problems. And I've seen a couple that have been out for a while. Because you get hit with that elbow locked, you're going to be hurt. So bend a little, so you take high corner, you can still come back and take away a low shot, and you cover over the head. What about over here? It's not my problem. It's not my job. I don't cover over there. I don't care. I don't go there. My job here, 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 here. Oh, come back here, here. That's the job of a shot blocker. So as we're moving back to the zones, so we talked about the zones that we're going to basically discourage them to shoot. That's an M. Then we're going to deny them by coming on a 3-2. Boom. He has to pass the ball here. And all of a sudden, you know, he comes back because the 3 came back. 2 attacked him. He makes the pass. And now, and this is becoming very, very popular because the athletes are getting better. Trust me. Athletes, you know, I love my old buddies, you know, like I said, back in the dinosaur days when we still wear cloth suits, you know, and tie our suits with wire. Those were the best days, you know. And back in the days, they said, oh, coach, I mean, we used to be so strong, Rico. And I'm like, guys, if we take our team from 1960s and play against our team now, we get our butts kicked. They're better athletes. They're faster. They're stronger. They're quicker. So stop trying to living in the past. Oh, no, my 1968 team, coach, I don't know if they could handle. I'm like, you would have been a midget in today's game. Back, I'm 6 foot in a good day, you know, depending what kind of shoes I'm wearing. I'm 6 foot, and I used to weigh about 200, 210 pounds. I was a big guy. In the late 60s, I was a big guy. Today, I'm a little driver. I'm not even a post-up driver. You know, so come on. Things have changed. All right? So here's the situation. So what everybody's using right now is these side M's. Side M, guys. Get into it. Look, you do the 3-2. I don't do 2-3s. You go to 3-2s. There's that nice little side M right there. Press, you know, hug and kiss right here. Go. All right? I call HQ. Go, hug and kiss, hug and kiss. Don't let anybody do anything over there. Look at that nice little M here. Look at that. What a great defense. Think about it. Look, this guy's going to shoot the ball. Every time he tries to improve his angle, go a little bit like that. I say, well, Rico, but then this guy will go over here. I go, okay, great. I'll go press him, and I'll come back and he'll put a little bit. Hey, Rico, but he's going to pass over here. I go, good. But that time, he's already like that. Then we just go ahead and go press, and the thing's over. Because remember, it's not like he has a minute and a half to work. He doesn't. He has about 8, 9, 10 seconds to do something. So if I can go ahead and create hug and kiss here, I come back in here on my zone. All right? So he's over here. I come back on my zone right there. Right? Am I here? Okay, he's guarding here. Sorry. There's my little zone. There's my right arm. Or right arm or left arm or whatever you want to call it. Okay, but this defense here is becoming extremely popular. Okay, so I would say that the majority of the teams I saw European championships are using some form of this defense. Okay, because the players are quicker. Okay, and we can also do it from the other side. Same thing. You're here. Same thing. You're not going to call it again. Let's go by American numbers, right? 1, 2, 3. So let's say we're going to go, sorry, I was doing the European 3-2. Should have been 4-3 American. But let's say he's coming here. Same thing. I want to come back with this guy here, and then this guy would attack. Because when he passes this ball, he has to catch. He's catching right here, you know, and then we have that M here. Okay? Now, you say, well, coach, this guy probably is going to shoot the ball. That's fine. He'll take away cross cage. He'll take away cross cage, and the goalie will sit on it. And you're going to see a video on that one. And you shoot the ball. You also try to lob that ball. And you could have a pretty nice situation because with this guy basically sitting here and a lot of guys will maybe be doing some movement, you might have breakaways, and that will happen on one of the videos it will show. So understanding what kind of zone are we going to have? Denial, you know, deter, or, you know, discourage. or however we're going to do the zone is very important. The next thing you need to understand is that, is it better to go into a zone or out of a zone? So, for example, if you are Spanish, they like that a lot. You know, the Spanish love that. They will press real hard. Okay, they'll press real hard. And then they'll come back into the zone. All right? But then you also have some teams, let's say Hungary, that might start on a zone, and as soon as the ball goes to, let's say, 1 or 5, go into a press. So you have two different things, right? So you have one of them is going zone to a press, where the next one is press to a zone. So again, is that a better way or a worse way? There's no better way or worse way. The differences are very much is usually if you are on a press and you're coming on a zone, okay, the tendency of having breakaway counterattacks are not very good. The fast break, as I call, right? Because you're coming back. Where if you are back and then on the last 5-6 seconds you're going out there, the chances of you getting fast break and causing exclusions on your counterattack are pretty good. Can you use both of them? Absolutely. Use the situation. Use situation. For example, if you are playing on the new rules, because I'm sorry, but I'm going to talk new rules here. If you are on the new rules and you have 30 seconds on your first possession, right? Okay, good. You can go ahead, do whatever you want. You know, press, come back on the zone. But what happens when you get your second possession there's only 20 seconds? Maybe you start on a zone for 8-9 seconds, you know, maybe pressing the wings with hug and kiss, and then boom, last 7-8 seconds, just go out there. Because the chances of them trying to establish that center in, you know, 8-9 seconds might be a little bit harder, right? The center prefers the when the defender is moving. So the center, you know, I was a center myself. You know, I much preferred if I have the defender waiting for me and then I can go in and then, let's say, do a swimming move, or if I can come in and basically, you know, do the curl like Chamakiz used to do from Russia, that he also went behind and then pushed the back hip and then took a side. There's other ones that like to just back him into it, but usually the defender is moving a little bit, so it gives me an advantage. Where on a 20-second clock, the defender's there. The defender's already on me. So that means, you know, he's not going to let the ball come in right away because you got the zone. So all of a sudden the ball has been passed. And then by the time I get the offense, you might have 5-6 seconds. And then I go into a press and I deny the side. Okay. Last thing before we go to a couple of videos is what kind of goalie you have. You cannot design a zone unless you know your goalie. Okay. And some people say, well, it'll happen if your goalie is not very good. Okay. I had a goalie one time. I'm not going to say the team because I want to embarrass him. But I had a goalie one time that he could not block anything when he was facing the shot. So any shot from 2, 3, 4, he couldn't block it. Really, he really couldn't. I'm sorry. He could not block. He was not very good about that. You know, he wasn't very good. He came from soccer, and he would always like come out too far, you know, and he sometimes played in shallow pools, so he had a tendency to like jump a lot, you know, so he didn't have really good posture. And it was my first year with him, so I didn't really have the time. I went on to become actually an All-American, but in the beginning he was very, you know, very weak on that. So what do I do? Okay. So I knew that if I played any kind of zone on him, and the shots came from here, the chance of him blocking the shot is going to be very low. It's okay. I understand. I mean, that was his weakness. But the kid was a wall when it came to this. He had these longer arms, right? So, you know, just the arms are a little bit longer. And I don't know, either he was like double jointed, because I actually ended up having surgery in the shoulders, but I think he was double jointed and he could kind of like lock his arms in a certain way that it really looked like a wall. So here, when he was here, there was no way, you know, you could shoot the ball through him. If your lob went in, But how many guys in high school know how to lob? How many guys really, when the pressure is on, know how to lob? Let me tell you right now, not many. Okay, when the pressure is on and you want to lob, I would give you that because the pressure, you usually can't do it. Okay? All right. Hold on, let me look at this real quick. Okay. So now, so here we got a situation I could do. So what I do is this. I had a guy that was really fast that always played here. And he was really, really fast. It's kind of the only kid I had that was really fast. I mean, he was like a 4900 fly. He was really, really fast. So what I used to do is this. I used to guard, drop, press, split. Okay? And then this guy over here, I would make him just do this. But he would be more, we gave the shot to this guy right here. They said, well, coach, why are you splitting here? Aren't you going to give him the cross shot? No. When I split, I just made sure that this guy here, he's like playing chess. Whatever this guy was doing, he didn't care about anything else except he was not going to give this pass. So this guy went here, he went there. He just always stayed in between this. Okay? So he just always in between. Didn't matter. It was always in between this. So this pass is the one he's baiting. Okay? So if you had to be a little closer, stay a little closer. If the guy was not very mobile, he could go back a little bit. This guy never touched the ball. This guy never touched the ball. Everything was here. And really, I made sure this guy's not shooting the ball. I even gave that shot there. The shot came in. And then you basically have this guy kind of take a couple strokes at him. This guy even makes his angle worse, and you shoot the ball. And every time we shoot the ball, this guy over here, all he would do is that when he saw that the guy was shooting the ball, he would just roll to this side. Just roll to this side. And then he would just do a little tug on this man. Just a little tug. Just a tug. Not a hold, a tug. Like get close and kind of create a little bit of contact when you're basically going like, look, I'm not holding the guy. That's called a tug. Once you tug, this guy's going one on nobody. And let me tell you, nobody caught him. And because this guy here was blocking the ball pretty much 90% of the time, he would go like this, and they would throw that ball in there, and there's one on nobody. Because I tugged, I immediately went to this side, and I just made sure he couldn't help. One on nobody every single time. We went on to win 23 games that year and lost in the semifinals. And trust me, I don't think I had a guy on that team, with the exception of the one that went 49, that could break a 55 and 100 free. So sometimes designing a defense according to what the goalie you have makes a huge difference, okay? So make sure you understand your goalie and make sure you talk with your goalie, okay? See what he wants. Because he might say, Coach, I really like, even though nobody wants to give this guy here the shot, right? Nobody wants to give this guy the shot. He might say, Coach, we want him to shoot the ball. I read better this shot that I read when I have to go across. Some guys don't like this, right? So I read better. Go ahead. You got to do what your goalie is good at. It doesn't do any good for you to say, oh, I designed the best defense ever. And your goalie hate it. Not very smart, guys. Let's go to the first video here. Okay. Oh, it's not there. Hold on. Let's do it again. Why is it not there? Hold on. Okay. Give me a second, guys. Like I told you, it's okay. Let's go back to here. Why is it not? That's the first time it's done. That's my internet. This is I'm going to kill him. Okay. Why is it doing this? It's not allowing me to do this on the internet. Oh, you go like here. All right, let's try that. Okay. Let me figure this out here a second. We'll stay a little bit longer, guys. Don't worry about it. Zoom. All right. Let's see if it's rejoining the meeting here. Maybe that will help. Okay. All right. Let's try it now. Still not working. All right, let me think about this as we're talking. So let's move on. So the first one I was going to show you, it was going to be the Croatia game, and I don't understand why this thing is not. Everything in here is good. Shoot. It's funny. It's like, like Jimmy, what happened is like, how you have all the stuff there and you go to share and it has like click on the, you click on the part that is supposed to come in. It says there, when I click on that, it just says like, the desktop has like a big question mark. So I have no idea. So maybe if I close it and reopen it, let me try that. Close that. And let me reopen that. Hold on. No, that didn't go. That's all right. Okay, let's go on. I will do something else. Okay, so what I was going to show you, Croatia, I will just show you on the board instead. Okay, full screen. Here we go. So what Croatia does is that they're coming in on a counterattack like this, right? So they're coming in on a counterattack. The offense is here. All right, everybody's guarding. He's coming in on a counterattack, and his offer is here. All right. That's right. I need the exercise anyhow, guys, Okay, everybody can see me, right? Okay. So when he comes on a counterattack, so the problem is that this guy's being fronted at first, okay? And then he starts to kind of like get positioning right here. See, he's starting to do this a little bit like this. So here's the problem that happens on this game. And when it gives up a penalty shot. Personally, for me, they pretty much were hugging, kissing here, so that was nothing to do with the game. This guy is fairly out. He's like about 12 meters out, I would have gone into a basic stair-step defense here, and then this. I would have done this right here, okay? And right off the bat, that would take me maybe a transition of maybe 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds. So I would come back in a quick stair-step, even if I don't get there. I come back on a quick stair step, have this guy come back, and then once that happened, I would have him reposition himself that way, and then come back and stay in a 2-3, okay? That's what I would do. But instead, this is what happens. So the ball is over here. This guy's over here. This guy does not come back. He kind of helps like this. What is the problem with that? This is what we call in a game a tweener, in-between defense. You are not really in any particular zone. What are you doing? You're not doing anything because he could sneak the ball in. He could pass the ball in. So I'm not really doing anything. So what ends up happening is this guy thinks trying to be, his guy here is hold the ball. He makes the mistake of fouling. That means I got a free pass, and he's too far away to do any kind of help. He does not even think about the stair step. He just starts swimming back. This guy immediately makes a quick move over here. He throws the ball here. This guy makes a swimming stroke. The ball gets here. By the time this guy arrives, he's on the inside, and that's a penalty shot. So where's the mistake? Because this is what we got to talk about. Where's the mistake? So the mistake is not necessarily that these guys are in between. It's that they chose to be in between. Hey, if you're going to go in a zone, then go in a zone. That's okay. I don't have a problem. I tell my athletes all the time, if you're going to do something, then do it. I can adjust to it. My goalie can adjust to it, but how am I supposed to adjust to it in between anything? And this is the problem, guys. So because of these guys are not doing, like, number one, not enough leadership out of this guy. Hey, if I'm the defender, you can call it. This guy has more power than the coach during a game. Because if he says come back, you better come back. Hey, that's the first thing I learned in Chinese. Huilai. Huilai, huilai, huilai. Come back, come back, come back. Because you know what? You got to come back. If my defender is sitting over there like this, you know, chimbi, 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 huilai, man, everybody came back on the huilai. I knew that. We're going to come back, you know? So you got to know those things. You got to know those words, right? So you got to understand. So he needs to say, hey, come back. Oh, but coach is too far. Then come back here. It's okay. Come back. And then a ball can go over here. In the meantime, you can adjust. All right, you know, I can attack him there, force the ball there. There you go. I got my zone. Don't be worried about putting pressure on your athletes to read, to understand. Okay? Don't be mechanical. Mechanical will keep you in a lot of games, but won't win a lot of games. You're going to be that team that finishes up 12-10. Because you know what? You don't do anything wrong, but you also don't do anything right. You're kind of doing that in between. You know, it's like, well, I don't want to get scored. Yeah, but you got to at least try to score. If you don't try to score, sure, you're never going to get scored, but you never scored either. So somewhere the percentage changes, right? I was reading one today. I was reading an article yesterday where somebody did a great job, and he did a percentage of everything, you know? So a percentage of center shooting, a percentage of outside shooting with the pressure, outside shooting to the pressure. And it's amazing the difference that whenever somebody's given time, the percentage is somewhere around 20 to 25% higher. So if this guy is given time, even with defense in front of him, and he can fake, move left, move right, you know, he has 4, 5, 6 seconds to shoot the ball, he's probably going to score around 35, 40% time. I move at him, he'll drop to about 12, 15. So you figure out, what do you want to do? You want to have your kind of defense look like Christmas trees? Or do you want to go ahead and have this movement, boom, moving at him, hit and go, pop, move, come gap, come from behind, come to the side. The second game I was going to show you, because it leads into what I'm trying to say, was the USA-Japan game. So, and Japan does this beautifully, you know. What Japan does, USA comes in on a counterattack. They got a big center, of course. You know, it was Ben, really good center for us. So what he does, they come back with what I was telling you earlier, right? So he's going to come back with this guy comes in quickly, okay? These guys are off here. The ball is here. He comes back in quickly. And then this guy helps. And US does this motion right here. Okay. Right. And then as he does this, as he passes the ball for this guy, okay, this guy immediately jumps across, okay, and he starts attacking this man. Okay? Mm-hmm. What does US do? What should US have done? What US should have done in that situation is maybe try to push a little bit more in here. The guy came to this side, really tried to get across. And then this guy right here, I would have gone for a quick, because remember, he's moving out. There was enough time. There was 7 seconds. Throw that cross pass and try to get the ball in there. That would have been the right thing to do. If it worked or not, it would have been the right thing to do. And that is reverse the ball and try to sneak in. Because this defender, a lot of times the Japanese defenders play behind. They want you to go in. So instead of, he's giving you that, but instead of going in, you go aside a little bit and just kind of make that quick little pass in here. Instead, what we do, remember the Japanese guy's behind. Okay, this guy's kind of over here. They throw a lob. They throw a lob. Throw a lob. The guy blocks the ball. 2-on-1.
Sorry, can I? They usually stay on the good hand player like the Japanese. If
Yeah.
it's a right hand, they stay
Well,
on the right. If it's a left-hander, they stay on the left.
Right. The Japanese, if you're a right-hander, he stays here.
Yeah.
Because what he wants to do, he doesn't want to bring the ball back. So their whole defense concept is no matter where he stays on the right side, whatever the guy is, even on the inside, you stay on the right. You know, so he's going to stay on the right. So he's always going to give you that inside. Because what happens, what he is doing is that he's giving you, because he knows you can't bring the ball back. And then what you do is that whenever you come in here, they have zone schemes. They have zone schemes that move in there and force you to shoot the ball when you're not there. Is what it is in a sense with the Japanese, and I remember when Ono was developing that, and it is they're just live in a constant state of M. Just think about aiming everywhere in the pool at every situation. You're always basically giving somebody something. And their goalies are very good at that. Nakamura does a great job, both him and his brother. His brother's now stopped, but he does a great job of taking away anything. And that's their concept of defense. And it's a great concept of defense. Okay? All right. Then the next one I was going to say that was going to be is the stupid exclusions on zones. So let's just say you're coming back to the zone. This goes back to say, when are we going to zone, right? We're going to say when is going to zone. So we have a situation here that was Serbia-Croatia, actually. And the Croatian team, you know, the Serbian team comes in, they're coming back in here, and everything is going really well, there's no problem. And then they come in, and the ball comes to this side here, you know, and the ball goes to this man right here. And then they come back on a zone like this. Okay? And this guy kind of comes in a little bit. All right? Good. This is a good zone. I mean, hey, the guy's about 6 meters. He has a hand there. You know, this guy gets the ball. He can attack, but yet he's close enough to come back. Ball cannot come into the wings, right? I mean, everything looks good. This guy is here, so he can kind of put a little bit of pressure. This guy's right in front. Ball came in the center, and this guy gets excluded. Guys, I see that so much. This guy being lazy, sits over there, try to backpack the guy, right? Try to ride him. What should he do in this situation? Going back to what Claudia said, he's a right-hander. Take away the spin turn. Get away from him. Where's he going to go? If he steps out, this guy's right here. The ball is here. Where's he going to go? But instead, you see that a lot. And a lot of it, and that's when you're choosing your defenders, make sure you choose guys that don't have this little attitude that, you know, everything has to go through them, you know? So, hey, you got a defense here. Back off a little bit and take away the power turn. He's not going to go anywhere. Take away a little bit here, okay? Take away a little bit. So he gets excluded. Of course, at that time, they go back to score the goal. Let's go one more. Because this is the one actually is the one I was talking to you about, the Serbia-Spain. A lot of times, let's just say if we are at the halftime, because I know some of you guys think about that. A lot of defenses, of course, are going to be according to after a goal score, right? Because remember, one of the things that is deadly for a team is to give up a goal right after you score a goal. Okay, you cannot let the other team score when you score. If you do that, if you do not allow 2 or 3 goals in a row right after you score, like you score, they score, you score, they score, usually that catch up, it will really hurt you at the end. So if you score, you have to shut them down. So what I have with my guys, I have a focal point that is one player. So whenever we score, that one player, okay, is never the one that scored. It could be the goalie, it could be somebody else. And that player just goes, guys, defense. You have to. Because a lot of times guys are looking for each other. Hey, high five. Hey, that was a great shot, man. Hey, that was great. You know, and all of a sudden they'll let the guy get in and they score a goal. So, again, this was going to show you it was going to be Serbia-Spain because Spain does a really good job with that. Serbia, a lot of times, will have this guy further back. Each team has a different way to start. Some teams will start, let's say if this is, I'm going to put the red as the center, okay? Some teams will start the center on this side. Some teams will start the center on this side, and there are some teams that will start to the center here. okay? Where you start your center is really going to give you a lot of different ways to attack, okay? So let's just say for the sake of the drill, he starts. So, you know, what they do is the number one, these two guys in most teams will bust up there as fast as they can, right? Sorry. So these two guys usually go there as fast as you can. Usually they'll try to rub off. If this guy's the center, maybe try to rub off a little bit here, try to make the switch. But let's say he's going over here to the center part. He's coming over here, you know, and he's coming over here. What the Spaniards do, that they did a really good job, is that they attack. So this guy move over here and they attack. But what they do, they attack in a full-out blitz. Full-out blitz. I mean, he's not like swimming with his head up or nothing. You know, everybody's just basically hugging everybody, no matter what they are. He attacks as fast as he can here, okay? As he gets to this guy, he will try to foul. The best way would be to foul. But even if he doesn't foul, he gets here. Once he got the guy far enough, he will come back into this stair step, and then this guy will come back into this stair step. And then this is the press. And then they see what this guy has to do. They won't give this guy a pass. So they will deny this area here, and then this guy will have to swim with the ball. In your experience as a coaches, what is faster, moving the ball around or swimming with the ball? So if I force you to swim with the ball, I'm going to slow you down. So all of a sudden, what I was going to show you is that every time they ran this, and they run this 3 times in this game against Serbia, and Serbia doesn't get the ball on offense after a goal. Remember, they're not coming off the counter. They cannot set up the offense after a goal every single time the clock reads less than 13 seconds. That means I'm giving only 13 seconds after a goal. God, that's huge. Most of the time after the goal, you give them 20 seconds, 21 seconds, 19 seconds. Now I'm giving them 13 seconds. I'm giving them nothing. So it makes it very difficult for them to try to do anything against me because, hey, they got very little time. So the chances of them scoring is going to be very low. Okay? And then the last one that I wanted to show you, and that's when the press to a zone, Holland does this play. This is on the women's side. Okay? What Holland does on the women's side, they're in this situation here on offense. Okay? Holland's on offense. And they're playing against Hungary. Now, I don't know if you know the history of these teams, but obviously United States dominate. And after the United States, the 2 teams that won the most medals in European championships would be Hungary, Holland, and Russia. And then Italy, of course, did very well in that early 2000s. And then has been always in and out there. But that's the team. And then, of course, Spain now has really become the most dominant team outside of the U.S. But what you have between Holland and Hungary, traditionally they have some of the best shooters in the women's side, okay? I mean, if you go back and you say, I mean, U.S. is the best team by far. Meg is the best player by far as I'm concerned. And then you got Kisteleki, Tankeeva, Prokoeva. You got all these different girls out there in Spain. You got Tarago, Paula Lechon. Great players out there. But how do you do it as a team? So Holland does. Holland knows that Hungary is going to come back in the zone. He's going to come back in the zone. So what they want to do is that they start with the ball here on the wing. They just got a new 35, new 20 seconds that we talked about. So the first thing they do is this. They actually swim this person away from the center. See, they swim this person away from the center to create some water here. The natural thing to do would be for this player to drive. But if you do that, then all we're going to do is going to be a little jump switch, and then the ball's going to have to reverse it all the way to the other side. Instead, what they do that I like, the ball is here. As this player moves, watch this player here. As this player moves, this player drives. Okay. Now, the moment of this player drive, this guy has to come back. So there. Now, what do I got? What does that look to you now? It looked like a 6-on-5. It looked like a 6-on-5 with a center here and a center here. After the pass, they adjust. Are they going to get counter out of that? No. Very stable offense, and they work for it. If they attack, the ball comes in, triangle, near side triangle, score. near side. So you got 2 games going on. 2 games going on. And guys, that works on the men's side too. Okay? It works on the men's side too. But on the women's side, I tell you right now, if I was coaching women, this is what I would run. Because look at this. I mean, where? I mean, it'll come back. I can move in here with shooters. I can improve my angle. This person does not want to do that. So you force them to stay in front because of your opening. And then you basically just always clear yourself by moving left or right and moving left or right. Okay, so they created this. Now, the interesting part is how Hungary reacted. What Hungary did, because they knew that, okay, because they have 2 great shooters over here by them, what they did that I thought was quite interesting is that they moved this player to the inside of the defender. That's kind of dangerous because of this pass. But they moved this to the inside of the defender. They attack, right? And then they just came back here, and these 2 players took this side and you took the cross cage. So one of the fun things about when you are looking at film, and I'm so sorry because these videos that I had today was very good. I promised that on Tuesday we'll do all video, and I'll make sure I have these ones again, and we'll repeat it with the video session because I think it's important to do that, okay? But it's to understand that when you are doing a defense, you got to understand that no defense is completely going to stop the other team. So what you want to do percentage-wise, what you want to do is you want to create a situation where you're going to discourage them to shoot the ball, but you kind of want them to shoot the ball. You kind of want them to shoot the ball. Because if you don't shoot the ball, you're running. I mean, sometimes the clock is a worst enemy, man. You're down by 2, and you're not going to make this guy shoot the ball. No. You got to make him shoot the ball. Okay? So, again, make him come back and help. But at the same time, say, hey, come on, shoot the ball. One of the things I do, I don't know if this is ethical or not, but I used to tell my players that when you get into players that are getting always fired up, I used to just go like this. I go to them and in a very nice way. You know, don't yell at them. But just go like this. Hey, man, I think you should shoot it. I think you should shoot the ball. Man, that goalie, man, I think he had a tummy ache today. Hey, shoot the ball, man. He's not ready. Come on, shoot the ball. Because you know what? It comes down to getting in their heads. All right. Let's go to the chat real quick here. Guys, thank you so much for understanding. I really appreciate that, you know. And I promise, Jimmy, we'll stay on a little bit there, Jimmy, and we can explain to that. And then, but I promise you next time I'll get a few more videos. But let's do this again because I think this is very important, and I want to show you. So even though next week I have actually a great plan is already out there, I'm going to, so plan maybe next week to stay a little bit longer. And then like another 10 minutes because I like to go ahead and show those videos and go back to that. All right. Again, guys, you're the best. Water polo rules. Let's stay with it. See ya.
Thank you.
Thanks,
All right.
Rika. Cheers.
Thank you. Great session. Thank you very much.
All righty.
Sorry, Rico, can I ask you if you saw the game under 20 at the World Cup, USA and Greece
Yeah, I was there.
in Kuwait?
Yep, I was there. I'm the executive director of Brazil at that time. So.
This is the way how Greece take them back.
Absolutely. And if you remember, U.S. was up by like 5 goals. They were like, everybody was like, oh my God, what's going to happen here? I mean, it was easy. And then they went into this kind of thing in U.S., and they have those 2 great players. I won't name them because, like I said, I never want to make anybody feel bad. Yeah. But they had those 2 players that try to shoot their way out of a zone. And that's the worst thing you want to do. Don't shoot your way out of the zone. Use the offense to break out of the zone. So, yes, I did see that. That's a great. I actually have the video. Maybe we'll show that one.
So I'm working here in Kuwait, and I saw most of the games.
Yeah. I was there. I really liked the way Greece played. I thought they did a great job. I thought Italy was very good too. I was a little disappointed at the Spanish team. I really was. I like Spain, but I thought Spain didn't play with the sharpness they usually do. But when you come back, Claudius, between you and I, best team there was US, and they didn't get there. Physically
I
speaking,
said
there were no team there that could touch the US, but they did not do the right things. They dominated everybody. I mean, there was nobody that you could say, like, what happened? I mean, but we'll see.
yeah,
All right, guys.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Bye.
Sorry, really quickly. On Thursday, would it still be possible to go over the water polo drills with the modifications? Like with
Yes, of course.
Okay, thank you. Thanks so much. Bye.
No problem, Kari. Bye-bye. All right, Big John. Okay. Right. So if everybody could get out so I can talk to Jimmy about see what's happening. He's my consultant here on video issues. So if everybody would sign out, so except for Jimmy. So. So talk to me, Jimmy. So what do you think happened?
I actually don't know. If you had the windows
I
open,
think what happened is, as like I said, I have to concentrate on what I'm doing, so I can't really be doing other things when I'm talking. But I'm going to go do this, and if I have a question, I'm going to call you. But you know what I think? Because Tony has been having problems with the internet, and yesterday he had a podcast where the internet disappeared for like about 45 seconds. You know what I mean? Like he lost service. And I have a feeling that that's what happened is that, in between, because look, our Zoom is still going on, but all the stuff that I had on the internet that I had saved, it went away. You know what I mean? So when it shut down, I lost it,
But if the internet shut down, then the Zoom would automatically shut down also.
Yeah. But why? But when I try to reconnect the internet, when I try to reconnect the server, not the internet, of course, doesn't shut down.
Yeah.
But when I try to go to Chrome or whatever to try to open up, it wouldn't do it. You see what I'm saying? So, I am connected to the internet. The server didn't let me work.
That's weird.
That is weird. So I don't know if the problem maybe was with Chrome. I don't know.
Yeah, I wonder if Chrome or YouTube. Could you try refreshing the pages now and see if they work?
Okay, let's see. See, they're gone. Everything's gone.
If you try opening up a new Chrome right now and going to YouTube, does it work?
Okay, let me see. Let me go. It is really weird. Let's see. If I go to share and then basically try to see, allow Zoom to share your screen, open system preferences, okay. But it still won't let me open, okay. So see, it goes to all this thing about security and privacy and and it won't even let me try. Like I don't even know if I can come back to you. Let's see if I can.
That's weird. So
I can hear you, but now I don't even know where you are. I can't even see you anymore. But yet I'm still listening to you. Right? I mean, you still hear me, right?
Yeah. So you click share the screen and everything disappeared?
Yeah, everything disappeared. It's telling me right now to end the meeting. So it's just, it's just basically has a big question mark with a triangle. And it just basically, it won't let me do anything. So I'm going to end the meeting. I'm going to think about it. And I might be sending you a message pretty soon.
Okay. My only guess is maybe something's wrong with Zoom and the connection to the Wi-Fi in general. There's an error in the system maybe?
Yeah.
That sounds really weird.
It could be. I mean, like I said, it's the first time this has happened. I mean, everything else was working great, but this, it just happened.
Okay. All right. Well, let me know if I can do anything.
Okay. Thanks, bud. Bye.
Talk to you.